You're still watching the marketplace. The month of September recorded the highest inflation rate of 10.6% since the economy started picking up from the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. According to the Ghana Statistical Service, the increase in housing, water and electricity costs were the major contributors to the hike in inflation. Professor Samuel Kobina Eneng is a government statistician and has been explaining to journalists in Accra the reasons behind this statistic.
Year-on-year inflation for the month of September 2021 stood at 10.6. This literally means that general price levels between September 2020 and September 2021 have gone up by 10.6%. So over a one-year period, September 2020 and September 2021, average prices of goods and services have gone up by 10.6%. On a month-on-month basis, comparing August 2021 to September 2021, general price levels have gone up by 0.6%. How do these figures compare with inflation for the previous months? The 10.6 that we've recorded for the month of September 2021 is the highest that have been recorded for the post-COVID-19 period, i.e. since August 2020. This is the first time that we are recording an inflation figure as high as 10.6. The highest that we recorded were during the pre-COVID period, i.e. July, June, and May 2021, which hovered around 10.3, 11.3, 11.2, and 11.4. So since August 2020, this is the highest inflation that we've recorded in the 14-month period. From a disaggregation point of view, i.e. food inflation and non-food inflation, and also from a locally produced items and imported items, food inflation stood at 11.5 for the month of September 2021. This indicates a 0.6% increase in the food inflation that was recorded for the month of August 2021. August 2021 food inflation stood at 10.9%, with September 2021 food inflation 11.5%.
Well, let's bring in the Chief Executive of the Chamber of Agribusiness Ghana, Anthony Morris, and he joins us via Zoom with some analysis. Anthony, we're so grateful that you could join us. Food inflation inching up by 11.6%. What are you making from this statistic, especially when we're expecting this to go down amid interventions by the Agri Minister?
Thank you very much, and I'm grateful for this opportunity.
I'm afraid we haven't. All right, go on.
And I think that looking at the consumer price index from year on year to where we are now, our hope is that this may not go up too much, but from the figures available to us, we may close this year on a much more higher inflation, in that fuel prices has been a major indicator for increase in food prices. Currently, we are buying maize at a very high rate in terms of the price. 50 kg of maize at the initial point of the year we're selling at 58 Ghana cedis. Now we're buying at 150 Ghana cedis for the same 50 kg. And we do know that kenke prices that used to be sold at 1 cedi 50 pesos per a ball of kenke is now being sold at 2 cedis. So that is more than the 11% increase or something. We are expecting that next year will be much terrible, and that we are picking signals and intelligence globally as to the rising cost of agrochemicals and other agro inputs. We do know that prices of fertilizer this year have gone up almost by 80 cedis. Cost of labor have also gone up. Fuel, of course, has gone up. So, and also the cost of transporting, especially the imports that we do, logistics with regards to the shipments, have also gone up by almost 90% due to the COVID challenges. So we expect that consumers should tie their belt. My advice to consumers is to probably set in to do their own backyard garden, because we do know that the cost of vegetables per household is about 200 to 400 cedis a month. So, and this has a likelihood to increase in the coming months. So we need to start taking strategic home economic sense and to make sure that we deliver our homes and be able to provide the right nutrition for our food.
Great, but from your submission, Anthony, I deduce three major things. The fact that, yes, our production is not being threatened at the moment, but we're having challenges with the supply chain. You rightly stated the fact of transportation costs. You said the fact of, port entry fees as well, and even that of fertilizer. But let's start on the scale of fertilizer, the cost of fertilizer as well as the cost of maize. The Agric Minister has rightly stated the fact that we're nearing the bumper, the harvest season, which is going to be much more of a bumper in nature. Can this offset the risk that you were making reference to in your submission post-COVID-19 in the year 2022?
Thank you very much. Let me say that Ghanaians should not expect any bumper harvest. Let me state clearly that we are all from traditional zones in this country, and we celebrate festivals. And the reason why festivals are celebrated is to celebrate the gods for giving us bumper harvest. All major festivals across the country have been celebrated. So we are not expecting any major harvest at this point in time. We are going into the dry season, which is the minor season, because we have the bimodal and the unimodal farming system. And the northern region or the northern part of Ghana have the unimodal system, so they farm once in a year. And also those in the south farms 2 times in a year. Now, you do not expect to make bumper harvest in your minor season. You make that in your major season. And besides, we have completed harvesting. Let me also add that the climate change has been a major issue towards food productivity in Ghana. The major season was not very conducive for productivity reasons. There was a long drought, and when the rain came in, the rain was too much. So most of the major grains and cereal farms were submerged in water for a long period. So we are not expecting any major bumper harvest. Let me state that clearly, so that consumers across board will begin to take measures and find strategic ways to conserve food, especially if food waste is picking up. Food losses
so that's your word against that of the Agric Minister. But let's also deal with the supply chain matters, the cost of fuel, and also the cost of port charges and all. How is this going to be much more of a challenge, especially when we've also seen government have some interventions regarding the cost of petrol prices in the coming weeks?
Well, this is the right time to start looking at how we can subsidize fuel for agriculture productivity in Ghana. We do that for aquaculture, but we don't do that for the crop farming. This is the time we need to start looking at how we can make intervention and bring some policies that will have a major impact on productivity. Because currently it costs almost about 200 cedis to do an acre or to plow or prepare an acre of a farmland. And it used to be 120, 150. That should tell you that there is an increase of more than 30%. So we need to start looking at it if we are to increase and to provide the necessary food security to this country. We need to subsidize agriculture fuel subsidies, or bring on board some what I refer to as the agriculture social intervention, so that farmers will be able to produce their produce on time, because sometimes we do not even have the fuel to even fuel the limited available tractors that we have on our farms.
All right.
So these are all the issues we need to be looking at.
Anthony, we're grateful for your submission there. He is with the Agribusiness Chamber of Ghana, helping us understand the reasons behind statistics on the faring of agriculture in Ghana.